Hey, Jared here of BizDev Heroes. Good morning. And today I'm talking about a question that someone asked me. What do you do when you feel like your Facebook profile or whatever social network you're using is you're just getting started and it's all old friends? You don't really have a following yet, and so you're trying to build that following by posting content that people are going to engage and start to follow you and like your stuff. And your old friends basically come out as hecklers and start tearing down everything you're posting because for whatever reason they think it's funny, they don't really mindset difference, just whatever reason. And you just feel like you have the completely wrong audience. Obviously you don't want to go and just delete all your old friends. Well, a couple things. One is you can just ignore it. So if they're just posting dumb stuff, if it's not something that's like completely disparaging and going to turn people away from your brand and what you're doing, you can just choose to ignore it. You can respond with positivity. You can address what it is they're saying. For example, if it's a health coaching business and you used to be overweight and that's part of your story of why you got into health coaching and how you lost all your weight and how you want to help other people while you're doing your coaching business, and they make some question about like Fat Schmidt, right? If you watch New Girl, I was trying to think of what it is. Like, oh, what's Fat Schmidt doing? You know, doing a health coaching business. Rather than getting mad or, you know, running to your room and crying. You probably aren't going to go cry, but you know what I mean. Respond, like wrap that back in your story and talk about how you used to be that way and even thank them for, like, you know, saying, hey, you know, great to connect again. You know, thanks for mentioning that. You know, this is actually part of my story. And you can then turn that back into a positive thing. But ultimately, if this is something that you keep having, whether you have crickets because you don't have your audience, or you're just having the negative thing. I mean, if you're having consistent problems, at some point when you're starting your hero's quest, right, and you've answered the proverbial hero's call, you are probably going to lose some friends. You're going to have to unfriend a few people. I know I have. I know everyone I've talked to has gone through this, to where just as your mindset shifts and you're laser focused, people aren't going to get it. You're going to have people bring you down. I kept finding myself getting in these rat trails of these arguments with people, and it made no sense. And people who were basically talking to an old version of me they know, and I kept letting them pull that old version out. I just had to let them go, just unfriend them. You know, it may be harder for some than others. At some point, you're going to have to do it. Or if you're uncomfortable with that, I know my wife just can't stand the thought of unfriending someone, even if they just post negative complaints of all the time. She feels like it's morally wrong. You can unfollow them or hide them, so that way they can still see that you're friends. They can still see all your stuff, but you won't see any of their junk that they're putting out. Okay, so secondly, ultimately what you're going to need to do is you need to work on building your new audience. So of course, you know, you're producing content, that's great. You're sharing your stuff, you're getting out there, you're getting involved. So you're making new friends. You know, you go to a conference, you get 13 new friend requests and people you've added. Boom, there's 13 more people. You interact with these people. Obviously, we all know Facebook has an algorithm based on what you do. So spend less time interacting with the negative old stuff, more time interacting with your new friends and the new comments they're sharing. When they post on your stuff, don't just like, cool, Scotty said something, interact, thank him, you know, that kind of thing, to really build that up. Now, this is just a really quick tip here, just a really quick help. For a more exhaustive, like how to rebuild your audience here, I'm actually doing a 30-day Facebook challenge. See, you thought this video was just gonna be a selfless tip, but really it's a plug. And I'm doing a 30-day challenge. It is not my Facebook marketing strategy or formula that I created. It's from Joshua David Howard, but with the validators, if you haven't seen what I'm doing with there, I'm basically taking business and marketing strategies, I'm actually doing them and seeing if they work or not, and then sharing the results. So right now we just kicked off just yesterday the 30-day Facebook Freedom Formula Challenge. So there'll be a link in this description. Go check it out. You'll be able to see, and you can follow along, and it can help you rebuild your thing. And also, I had a few of you guys comment with your own suggestions. So when you have people, you know, heckling you, posting negative stuff, so let's really quick, let's jump over to those, because we had some great suggestions from a couple of awesome entrepreneurs I really look up to, and let's take a look at those real quick.
All right, so first up we got Simon Smart of Warrior Protocol. You just need to decide which is more important, your mission or your message, or the opinions of people who are busy ignoring their own. Thank you, Simon. That is an awesome piece of advice. And then we've got up next the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Cates. Absolutely, Jared. I went on an unfriend frenzy over this a while ago. I've since added most back now that they are aware of where my focus is and what I won't tolerate on my page. Now, I actually enjoy the opinions because it offers me the opportunity to raise my position higher by replying. I thank you guys so much, and make sure you check out Warrior Protocol for Simon Smart and Tony Cates. Check out his site, Refuse. Check the show notes for more information on how you can check out those two guys. Both awesome guys doing some awesome things.
Okay, so that was some awesome advice. Thank you, Tony. Thank you guys, everyone who was able to post. I remember Tony off the top of my head because he's a good buddy of mine, and I really look up to him and everything he's doing with Refuse. The links for their businesses are going to be down in the show notes as well. If you want to check that out, I definitely suggest you do that. The Warrior Protocol thing is pretty awesome. Simon, you see your name came to me. And I actually met both of those guys. It's a great example of putting yourself out there. I met both of those guys through a conference I went, and I just had to push myself to get out there and do it because I knew I needed to meet more entrepreneur friends. I had some I was growing. I hadn't had any in real life, so I arranged to meet up with a buddy I'd only met online, Gideon Walker, who now is one of my best friends. We met there for the first time in person. We both met Tony, who's become like a life inspiration. Met Simon, met a bunch of other entrepreneurs, of course Nick Unsworth, who put the whole thing on. It was a Ignite event. In fact, that's actually going on again right now, so I'll put the link to that there as well. But ultimately, you have to, it's gonna be uncomfortable. You gotta let some stuff go, add in some new stuff, really work on that. I would love to see you in the 30-day challenge. Check it out, sign up, post a comment, let me know you're doing it, and I actually work with you to keep you accountable on these 30 days. I created a cool little, it's just simple, but I did it for you. Little Google document to keep track of your results. It was super helpful because I know last night I was winding down, getting ready to go to bed, and realized, oh no, I've only done about half of it. I went and looked at my chart. I go, oh, I haven't done everything. I looked at my little chart and I said, oh, I'm like halfway there, a little over. So I sat there and I watched another episode where I was watching some TV with my wife. I said, hey, play one more episode. I went through and did everything, and I hit it for the day. And now today I'm gonna go home and actually put like an hour into it ahead of time, now that my brain's in the right track. So sign up, let's do this together, let's grow your business, and let's get your message out there.
This Schmitty, we built this Schmitty on Tootsie Roll.